Hey my Pilates people, welcome to my channel Connect and Move. My name is Jessica. Today I have for you a full body tower flow. The only thing that we will not need is your rollback bar. So leg springs, arm springs. We will be starting with the push through bar sprung from above and a knee pad if you need one for kneeling. So with all that being said, get your push through bar set up and we're gonna start lying down on our back. So when you're lying down, your feet will be in line with the uprights. So you're gonna be all the way down here. And when I say feet in line with the uprights, it's more of like when your toes are pointed, like somewhere down there in line with your feet. So let's go ahead and take the arches up onto the bar, about hip socket distance apart. So go ahead and reach the arms back behind you. And now pull the bar down and in and push it away. And then when you're here, I want you to think of finding like a big good morning stretch, like you're being pulled in two different directions. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, allow the ribs to soften. Maybe the shoulders fall away from the ears. And now keep the ribs heavy. And now as you bend your knees, just pick the arms up to the ceiling. Arms come down and then push the bar up. Let's do that again. You pull the bar down and in. Think hamstring curl. Arms lift up and back behind you. Allow the ribs to flare as you take that big inhale in. And then exhale, soften the ribs down. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you bend the knees, the arms are gonna pick up and then all the way down. Let's do that again. Tailbone stays heavy the whole time. Think of the big toes reaching up and over. Keep the ribs heavy into the mat as long as you can. Arms reach back behind you. Let them flare only if it feels good. And exhale, ribs come down, arms come up, knees bend, all the things. All right, so keep the arms down now. Pull the bar down and push it through. And now hold here. I want you to find this downward energy through the back of the legs. Reach the arms up to the ceiling now. In fact, make a fist with your hands and think like you're holding onto a pole. So think of pulling the pole apart so your collarbone's open and maybe your shoulder girdle kicks on. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, I want you to lift the weight of your head up. And then pause here. So you're in an upper ab curl. Feel like you're pushing this imaginary bar away and then maybe curl up a little bit higher and hold here. Think of your abdominals pulling back, but your arms stretching away from your chest and then come up a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further and come all the way up and over and just round forward. Now, as you roll back, think of pushing the bar away. So, right, we're trying not to let it come back with you, right? So challenging. Roll back, think waistband into the mat first, sternum back, fists forward, head comes all the way down. Again, arms come up, grab onto your legs if you need, push the imaginary bar away, pull the belly back, pull the belly back. Think chest forward, ribs back, and then roll yourself back down. Roll down, keep pushing down into that bar, all the way down. Let's take the arms back behind you, pick them back up, big breath in, and then exhale, round up and over. Go up and over, slow and controlled, slow and controlled. And feel that the tailbone is curling under just as much as your upper back is rounding, right? A lot of times I forget that, right? I'm tight back there. And then from here, roll yourself back. Think like you're under a low ceiling. You're gonna go back just to the tips of your shoulder blades and pause right here. I'm gonna point out through my fingers and I'm gonna start pumping here for my 100. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, how still can you keep the bar? In fact, could you push the bar away a little bit more? Think fingertips forward, belly pulling away from the thighs. And maybe you could curl up one more inch. Now, if your neck starts to bother, you can always lower your head down, but still think of trying to steady the bar. In fact, I think that might be a little bit harder. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower all the way down. Reach the arms back behind you one more time. Arms come up and down. Go ahead and float the bar up just place it in the up resting position. Take your feet down to the floor, or the mat rather. Feet are about hip socket distance apart. Knees are bent. All right, so find your chest expansion arms here into the mat so the shoulders are open, chest is proud. Take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, tilt your pubic bone back to your navel and start to peel your spine up into bridge. Take it small if you need it first, and now pause here at the top. Do you still have a tripod connection down through your feet? All right, and then from here, feel like you're pulling your seat to your feet as you melt and round all the way down, down, down. Fully release the tailbone at the bottom. Again, find that tripod connection and now keep it as you peel your hips off of the mat. Pause here at the top. I want you to let your chest soften a little bit so the front of the throat feels open, but feel that the pubic bone is like wheeling back towards your navel so it gets higher than your 2 hip points. And now again, feel that weight shift into your feet so you're dragging your hips to your feet and melt all the way down. Last one like this. Actually, we're gonna stay up and play. So roll the hips up, find a little bit more weight into your feet. Legs should look somewhat like a number 11. And now from here, I want you to lift just your toes up and now lift the balls of the feet up. Balls of the feet are gonna go down, toes are gonna go down, heels are gonna lift up. Heels come down, toes come up, even your pinky toes. Lift the balls of the feet up. Balls of the feet come down, toes come down. Now, as you do this, think of there being magnetic energy between your inner ankle bones. I don't know about you, but when I try to lift my heels, they really want to pull apart. So I got to think of them hugging in. And then as you also do this with your feet, can you still keep your hips lifted and stable, right? Because mine are wanting to fall down. No tension in your chest, or neck rather. Last one. I'm feeling a little bit of burning sensation going on my backside. Now lower the heels down so the feet are now pancaked, and now melt all the way down, down, down. All right, so let's take the arches up onto the bar there. Still hip socket distance apart. So we're gonna do one more hamstring curl. So here I want you to really think of firing up through the back of the legs. Pull the bar down and just hold here where it feels like it wants to like roll away from you, and then hold. Toes go up and over. Feel like you're pulling the bar towards your backside, and then resist as you push the bar away. All right, I know this is very light, so sometimes it can feel like, okay, what am I supposed to be feeling here? And then back up. So send your focus to the back of the legs, tailbone stays heavy. Resist as the bar goes away. Now, we're gonna lift the bar back up. So legs are gonna go straight. We're gonna roll the hips up. Find the top of your straight leg bridge and pause here. Once again, find your butt crease muscles by tilting that pubic bone back to your navel. And now keep pushing the bar away as you melt your spine down like you're placing it down into wet sand. Fully release the tailbone at the bottom. Keep the bar up and then roll the hips back up, up, up. Think fingertips reaching towards your tower, crown of the head reaching to the wall behind you. Now, can you keep your pelvis driving up and stable? And now float your right leg up and down. Float your left leg up and down. Resist, find your cheeks here. Right leg up and down. Use your arms. Left leg up and down. Now, left foot stays on. Place your right foot on the mat, knees bent. We're gonna keep the hips lifted. Pull the bar down and through. Now, when you push the bar away, keep driving your left hip up to the ceiling and then pull the bar up and through. Down and through. Push down into that bar and then up. Challenge here for me is like, I really want to arch my back instead of going into hip extension. So again, think tailbone long, inner thighs at the party, and pubic bone back to your navel. Push down into that right leg. It's going to help you. Last one.
Bring that leg straight up. Place your right leg up on top now. Left foot onto the mat. Stabilize everything. Pull the bar down and through. Keep driving that right hip up, 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 and then through. So this down position, right, that's your gait, right? There's your hip extension when you're running, when you're walking, that push off. Think like you're pushing the ground away to propel you forward. And you still have a strong tripod connection down through your left foot. And if you're tight in the front of the hips, right, you might be getting kind of a stretching sensation on the top of that thigh. Let's do one more here. Finish strong. Check your back, check your neck, check your shoulders. And now float that bar up. Take the left foot back on and then melt your spine all the way down, down, down. All right. From here, bring your knees into your chest. If it's available, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Take your hands to your right shin. Extend your left leg out long and away. Feel like you're pushing the bar. And then switch. And switch. So each time you bring the knee in, there's still a little energy pushing up into the hands, right? So it's not just a full pull in, at least not the way I'm teaching it today. And that should help, right, to keep your backside engaged and also try to keep your pelvis stable. Let's do 3 and 2. And last one, bring both knees into your chest. Super glue the legs together. And now send your legs out to your working angle. Arms go up, maybe back. Take the arms out wide, then to your thighs, and then resist as they come all the way back in. Again, inhale, stretch out long. Open to your thighs. Exhale, empty the lungs, come all the way back in. Again, inhale out. Lift the chest as the arms circle around. Reach for your thighs. And then bend everything all the way back in. Last one like this. Can you lift the chest up through the arms? Out to the sides. Then to your thighs. And then hug everything all the way back in. Legs go straight up to the ceiling now, right? Lower your left leg down. Just tap the bar and then switch. So here I want you focusing more on the leg coming back towards your chest or your face. Booty sticks out and it stays heavy into the mat. Elbows are wide, collarbone is wide. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bend everything in. All right, let's go ahead and rock and roll you up to a seated position. And now we're gonna take the bar down. We're gonna lie on our stomach. So when our arms are straight, our hands will be in line with the uprights or kind of in the middle. So legs are zipped up together. So think of your inner ankle bones and heels, big toes, all the things drawing in, even if they don't touch. Your forehead is into the mat. I want you to press your pubic bone down or towards the mat. Your hands are on the bar about shoulder width distance apart. Find a pull apart on the bar. And now bend your elbows wide, wide, wide. And then press the arms back out. Think of the elbows going wide across the room. And then maybe they could lift up high. Right? That pull apart, I find, is a little bit more important than the elbow lift. Let's do one more like that. Don't forget the leg connection. My leg just got lazy there for a moment. Now I want you to straighten the arms. All fingers are wrapping around the bar. All right, push down into the bar and then feel your chest lift. Feel the armpits draw down your sides and then come all the way back down. Again, feel like your chest is reaching forward. Not only are you pulling apart on the bar, but you're kind of breaking it and then come all the way down. If the low back starts to bother you, just separate the legs a little bit, no worries. Keep your tailbone long and your pubic bone reaching into the mat and then come all the way down. Now we're gonna try to add a little baby rock to this. So I want you to lift up into your extension, right? Now, before your chest comes down, could you lift your thighs up a little bit more? And then as you dive down, maybe the thighs lift up a little bit higher. And now resist the thighs from dropping as you push down, chest lifts, and then the thighs might lower down. We rock forward. Obviously, the slower you do this, the more brutal it is. My hamstrings are really talking to me right now. You take it at your own pace, right? Allow those ribs to lift with you. It's gonna help protect your low back as well. All right, let's do 2. Last one. Maybe lift the legs up a little bit higher. Tuck the toes under. Carefully float the bar up. And just go ahead and sit your hips back. Round your spine. Give that low back a little break. All right. Now we're gonna take the push through bar down. So spring is gonna come off. Let it hang down. Now, arm springs. You are going to hook them up. I don't have any low eyelets. So I have one here, like if I'm kneeling, it's maybe hip height just above. Somewhere in that area, all right? So, and always, right, you can adjust. So, once you get your arm springs set up, push through bar is just hanging there. I'm gonna take my feet wide, all right? And just make sure you have access to your springs. We're just gonna do a little variation on the saw. So my feet are flexed here. I'm gonna think of pinning my heels down into the mat. Take the arms out wide to this high letter T. All right, now just hold here for a moment. Could you sit up a little bit taller? All right, think of pushing your sitting bones down, but the crown of the head is trying to push the ceiling up to the sky. And now I want you to lift and twist to the left, all right? I'm gonna round forward, right? Round forward, right hand to left foot. I'm gonna grab that handle, right? There's no tension in the spring. Now, as I stack my spine back up, I'm still in the twist. I'm gonna rotate back to center, and then I'm gonna row that right elbow back behind me as my left arm reaches forward. Twist up even taller, even taller. And I'm gonna come back through center, dive up and over. Just keep the handle in your hand. Again, we stack up tall. Row that right elbow a little bit down, right? So it's not going up, it's angled down. And then up and over. Now, if you need more tension in that spring, feel free to back up a little bit more. Whoops. It happens, right? So we twist. I round up and over. Pull your ribs back off of your thighs. Stack your spine up tall. And I'm gonna row and twist, 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 and then back through. Last one, stack up tall, equal energy down through your legs, down through your heels. All right, we do the other side, so let go of that one. We're gonna start seated here, or start up tall. Forgive me while I find my words today. So arms are strong. I'm gonna lift and twist to the right. Dive up and over, right? Think of sawing off that pinky toe. Lift your back arm up a little bit higher. Grab onto your left handle. We stack up tall. We twist, 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 right arm reaches forward, left elbow tilts down and back, and then up and over. So I'm trying to really work into those muscles or that space below the shoulder blades, not into our upper traps. And even if you don't feel that work happening, imagine it will, imagine it does, and it will. Lift that back arm up a little bit higher. We got 3 more. Up and over. Pull the stomach off of your thighs. Find opposition between elbow and fingers. This is your last one. Finish strong here. And then row. Pull those toes back. Awesome. Okay, so handle in each hand now. Zip the legs up together. Point out through your toes. We're gonna do a little rowing while we're here. So heels are pinned down, legs are zipped up together. Row the fists into your sternum, right? So elbows are wide but kind of tilted up, right? right? So think stable shoulder girdle as you roll your pelvis away from your thighs, round back, right? Just like we did with the push through bar. And now hold here. Could you tilt your pubic bone back just a little bit more, but keep your toes pointed and reaching? And then from here, pelvis stays still for as long as you can. Roll yourself up and over, up and over, up and over. Stack your spine back up tall. Again, pelvis wheels away from your thigh bones. Pause on the back. Now, could you keep the shape of your spine? And now take the arms out wide to this letter T. So palms are facing back behind you. Now can you press back into spring tension? And now dive the head up and over, take your fists low into the mat. I want you to push into your fists, and maybe you could go a little bit further in this forward fold. And also maybe the sides of your neck could lengthen. Now keep all those 1,000 things. Lift the arms, lift them up. They circle out wide and forward, and then stack back up. 2 more like that. Roll back, pelvis curls under. Go back to your challenge points. Keep the sides of the neck long. Open the arms out to the side. We press back. We dive up and over, fists into the mat. Push into them like you were doing tendon stretch on the reformer. Lift the arms. They circle around and reach for your toes. Again, stack the spine up tall. Roll back, stretch back. Can you keep your shoulder girdle stable and active? Take the arms out to the side. Open your wingspan. You press back. Dive up and over. Find the sides of your neck are long, y'all. Lift the arms. They circle around. Reach for your toes. And then back up. Arms come up to 90. All right. Your body is flat, or your back is flat. All right. We're going to hinge back. Hinge back. Could you go all the way back to the mat? And then lift yourself all the way back up. Again, think head and ribs hit at the same time. And then lift back up. Shoulder girdle stays strong. Hold here. Just hold. 2, 3, and then lift back up. 2 more. This time we're going to add the arms, all right? Hinge back, stretch back, keep the legs pinning down. Hold, get the ribs into the mat. Now, as you come up, can you start to punch the arms up to the ceiling? Whoo, and then bend the elbows back into 90. We're not doing the full today. Stretch back, go all the way back, get long and tall. And then as you come up, could you punch up towards the ceiling? Tough, 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 tough. And then lower the arms all the way down. Whew, shake it out. All right, so now we're gonna spin around and your head is going to be pretty close to your tower here. Please feel free to readjust. I want you to think teaser on the reformer here, okay? So do what you gotta do with your legs, meaning you can keep them down, you can roll them up. In fact, let's start with them down. So I'm gonna zip my legs up together, feet are down into the mat. My arms are out to the side, just like I'm hanging over the box, right? So reach out through the arms, right? And now start to find some spring tension. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, could you roll yourself up, up, up? Oh, it's almost harder with the legs down. And then keep reaching up into the springs as you roll back, roll back, roll back, roll back all the way back. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit further. I feel like the springs are bullying me. All right. So if you wanna keep the feet down, you keep the feet down. Otherwise, I'm gonna bring my knees into my chest. I'm gonna pin my heels together, all right? Big breath in. And then on your exhale, find spring tension. Start to roll up, shoot the legs out, take it slow, and then find the top of your teaser. Push into the handles like crazy, but think of lifting the legs up and then roll all the way back, slow and controlled. I'm gonna bring my knees back into my chest. My low back is not a fan of starting with my legs down, but if that works for you, start with your legs long and away, okay? So find your inner thighs, reach into the handles, use your exhale, roll up, take it slow, just like your roll up like we did earlier. Think of your sternum pulling back, Fists are going forward. Reach into the straps, reach into the springs, and then roll back with control, with control, with control. Let's do one more. I lie, let's do two more. Let's just do it. Again, find that open wingspan. Use your exhale. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Think of reaching to your toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together and then roll back, roll back. Think waistband into the mat first, y'all. All the way back. Oh, my thighs are burning here. Last one, best one right here, y'all. Use your exhale. Think of this reach with the arms coming from the middle of your upper back. Reach, 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 and then roll all the way back, back, back. Awesome. Let those straps go. Take your feet down into the mat, but go wide. I want you to drop your knees off to the left. Look over that right shoulder. And then up and over to the right. Look over your left shoulder. And then bring the legs back to center. All right. All right, so arm springs are down. We're done with them for now. And now let's move our leg springs around. So like I was saying, I have my one eyelet here. I have 1, 2, and 3 here. I'm gonna put it on that second one from the bottom. So here, right? So it was one higher than where I had my arm springs, okay? So even if you're unsure and you've got it hooked up, right? Then just with your body position, you can just move in or out, okay? So I want you to lie down on your back, head to your tower, and let's go. Let's start by going elbows bent, kind of at a 90-degree bend here, all right? Keep the push through bar hanging down, okay? Because we're gonna need it. So let's go ahead, place both feet into the straps. All right, so hands come up onto the tower here. When you push with your arms, make sure that the sides of the neck stay long, right? So again, just like your teaser arms, that push is kind of coming from your upper or middle back. I'd say upper back. So feet come down into the mat here and you're in this turned out position, right? To negotiate the spring. So sink the ribs heavy into the mat. The tailbone is heavy as well. Heels stay together. And now slide your feet out so your legs go straight and then hold here. Push into the arms, reach your legs into the straps, and then bend the knees and then drag your feet back in, right? Press the legs out, hold, 2, 3, and then bend the knees, come all the way home. If at any point you want to lessen the bend of the arms, you want to straighten the arms, right? We can do all those things. Reach out, hold, 2, 3, and then bend back in. All right, now we send the legs out long and away. All right, find a little bit more of a parallel position, and now float your left leg up as your right leg stays pushing down into the mat. And then lower it all the way down, hug the inner thighs together first. Right leg comes up, left leg stays bolted down into the mat. Right leg comes down, left leg comes up. Notice how there might be a weight shift in your upper body or in your torso. All right, we're trying to fight to keep this even weight across our booty, our back, our ribs. Last one, right leg is gonna float up and then down. Now hold here. I want you to open the legs just to the width of the mat, all right? And now we're gonna lift them up. They're gonna circle around and come together at the top. They lower down and away. They open and then lift back up. Now when you bring the legs together, I want you to find parallel. Lower the legs down. They're still in parallel. Flex your feet for me. Pull those toes back. Now open the legs wide here, hold. Feel like you're leading with the outer edge of your heels. So find the side of your hips and then they can externally rotate and meet back up at the top. They go parallel down through center. Flex your feet. Feel like you're doing like sideline work here. and then they externally rotate and back up, right? So push wide on that imaginary band around your ankles and then back up. Now meet at the bottom, and now we reverse. They come up, we externally rotate as they go wide, and then once you come down to center, find that flexed foot. Think inner thighs, bringing the legs together, point out through the toes. Remember, pelvis stays steady. Check your arm, or sorry, check your neck. All this motion is coming right from your hip. So lots of yummy, strong hip work here. Last one. All right, now bring the legs together at the bottom. Find that Pilates V again. Bend the knees, bring the heels towards the seat. And now, maybe not all the way, maybe just a few inches away. And now press your feet down into the mat. And then from here, could you roll the hips up? I know, negotiate the springs here. Push into the arms like crazy, and then just melt all the way down. Again, roll the hips up. Think pubic bone higher than your 2 hip points. Now from here, could you lift the heels up? Could you lift the toes up? Whoop. And then lower back down. Might have to reposition the arms a little bit. All right, so arms are active here. Pull up on those poles. Lift the heels. Can you lift the toes? And then back down. And if you're thinking, no way, lady, I want you to just work on this heel lift and lower, trying to drive your pelvis up. You have 2. And last one. And then down. Lower the hips all the way down. Send your legs out long, if you're not stuck on your pants there. And then hold here in your Pilates V. Could you now hover your hips up off of the mat? All right, so legs are hovering too. Now, all I want you to do is just scissor the legs. We lower the leg down and up. Think of the leg going down below the hip. Now, if you're struggling with this, if you're like, this is not happening today, just keep your hips down, right? And just work on scissoring the legs and finding the connection into your hips. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Zip the legs together. Bend your knees into your chest, right? So hips are rolling up, and then roll your spine all the way down. Awesome work. Lots of work on the arms too. So go ahead and take your right strap off, okay? Right strap is coming off. I'm gonna roll over onto my right side, so I'm gonna be facing you. So the strap is in my left foot. Let me just make sure I got my rights and my lefts right. All right, so I am backed up pretty close to the edge here, okay, but I'm not falling off. My bottom leg is swept forward a little bit, and I'm just lying down here, right? I'm not up on my elbow. So I want you to dig your bottom leg, bottom heel into the mat so it stays active. Your top leg, I want you to bring it in line with your body, so not in line with your bottom leg. And then just hold here for a second. I want you to reach your foot past your cat, if you have one there, right past the mat, and keep a flexed foot, all right? I want you to now sweep the leg forward and then sweep it back. Sweep the leg forward and then sweep it back. The top hand, you can have it on the hip, you can have it on the mat. But as you sweep the leg forward, I want you to think of booty going back to the wall behind you. And then as it sweeps back, think of it pulling away from the wall, right? So we're going into hip extension. And you're trying to limit this like wobble of the leg. So right, not doing what I'm doing. Last one, a lot of inner thighs here. Now bring the leg back in line with your body. Okay, think of your pinky toe pulling back to your shin and the big ball of your foot pushing away a little bit more. Okay, now keep the length in your waist. I want you to lift the leg up and then lower it down. In fact, go all the way down to the mat. I want you to lift the leg up and then go all the way down and into the mat, right? You should be able to because that leg is swept forward. So it's giving you some space here. And something that happens a lot in myself and in a lot of people is this top hip wants to roll back. So just play around with rolling it forward a little bit and just see how that changes things. Last one. Lower the leg down. Now bring it in line with your bottom leg. I want you to find a little Pilates V. So pin your heels together. All right. Think of your bottom leg and your top leg being as long as one another. Okay. So there's, look down real quick. Okay. So now take your top hand, place it into the mat. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, keep your heels together. And now try to lift both legs up. Hold. 2, 3, and then lower back down. Now, as they lift up, your top leg has to get longer. We lift, hold, 2, 3, and then back down. Again, squeeze those inner thighs together like crazy. Push those heels together, even if they're not touching. And then back down. All right, 2 more. Lift, hold, 2, 3, and then back down. Again, we lift. Check that top hip, roll it forward. Felt mine creeping back. Good, and then down. Awesome. Let's now go ahead, take the strap off, and now we're gonna do a little teaser twist. You're gonna grab your push through bar. Remember, there's no spring attached, okay? So right now my left hand is on, my palm is facing away from me, okay? So I'm gonna imagine like I had those springs or that spring around my top leg, okay? I'm gonna squeeze my inner thighs and my heels together like crazy because my legs are gonna move as one, okay? My bottom arm is gonna come forward and I'm gonna use it to assist me, okay? This is my nemesis, is teaser with a twist. So if you don't need as much assistance as I do, right? By all means, you do you, okay? I need some work on this one. So I'm gonna push up into the bar. I'm gonna start to roll back a little bit. My legs are gonna lift up, push into that bottom arm, and I'm gonna roll up. Now, don't roll off your Cadillac or wherever you're at and hold here. So I'm only on my right hip. I'm gonna think of pushing the bar to my legs and pulling my upper abdomen back a little bit. And then I'm gonna rotate, right? So start to square yourself off and then come all the way down. Slower is better here. I want you to find this pulling back through your upper abdominals, all right? So again, kind of roll your hips back, legs lift at the same time. We come up, we hold. Soften through the sternum a little bit more, push the bar to your legs, and then come all the way down. All right, I'm gonna scoot towards my tower just a little bit more. All right, so again, squeeze your heels together, even if they're not touching. We're gonna roll up, roll up, roll up, balance on your right hip. Could you take your right hand and lift it up? Whew. And then it comes back down and then roll all the way down. I think we need one more like that. I felt my obliques turn on like crazy there. Again, right? Pull back through your stomach. Roll up, pause here at the top. Find stability with your top arm. Bottom arm comes up, we hold, 2, 3, and then roll back down. Think of articulating your spine all the way down. Whew. All right, bar comes down. We gotta do the other side. So we're gonna roll over now. My back side is gonna face to you. Back spring on your right foot now, or top leg. I apologize, I don't think I specified what side. So bottom leg is a little bit forward. Top leg, it's in line with your body. So I'm gonna think of pushing it away. So I'm gonna think of like, as my top leg gets longer, my waistline gets longer, maybe my waist kind of lightens on the mat a little bit. And now keep the foot flexed and just sweep it forward and then sweep it back. So as I sweep it forward, think of my booty going back towards the camera. And then as my leg sweeps back, it's like I'm going into that hip extension, right? So there's that push through bar work that we did earlier. So I'm pushing the bar away as I'm trying to keep my hip and my pubic bone lifted. And my bottom leg is trying to stay planted into the mat. I don't know about you, but this side definitely feels a little bit more unstable. I feel like I'm very wobbly, like my hips just don't want to stay stacked here. Try to keep your gaze forward and your chest open. I know it's very tempting to want to look at the leg. But this is you walking right here. That's what this is. Good. Last one here. Think of that leg getting longer as it goes behind you. Finish this last rep strong. Reach back. Okay, now we bring that leg back in line with your body here. I want you to flex the foot, pull your pinky toe towards your shin, but push the ball of your foot away a little bit. Now we're gonna lift the leg up a little bit and then lower it down. Lift the leg up a little bit and down. So how light or how long can you stay in the waist while you lift this leg up? Remember your hip, roll it forward just a smidge if you feel like you're rolling back. And something that helps me is I like to imagine that my foot is up against a wall and I'm gliding it up the wall as my leg lifts, which is gonna force me to get longer. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Feel this leg way more. And now bring the legs together. They're swept forward a little bit. Point out through the toes. Find a little baby Pilates V. Do whatever you'd like with your top hand. Squeeze your inner thighs together like crazy. And now lift both legs up. We hold 2, 3, and then lower back down. Try not to get too much into the neck. I just felt like my neck wanted to help me there. And then back down. Remember, your bottom legs got to get maybe a little bit longer to keep those heels glued together. And then down. Whew. Reach the toes across the room, y'all. And then back down. Lift, 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 and then back down. I don't know if I'm just sore from the other side already. Let's do 2 more here. And then back down, last one. Inner thighs, inner thighs, inner thighs, and then all the way back down. Ooh, bend that knee in, take the strap off. Okay. It's out of your way. Bar, up, left arm forward. Alrighty. Find that inner thigh connection here, okay? Push the bar towards your thighs a little bit. Roll your hips back. Already feel like your belly is pulling away from the wall in front of you. And then start to roll up, find the top of your teaser, and then hold here for 2 and 1. Push the bar to your legs and then roll all the way back down. I'm gonna come forward a little bit so I don't roll off my tower. Again, use your exhale in your sticky spot. Come up, 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 and then come all the way back down. Let your bottom arm help you get to where you need to be, okay? Don't make yourself struggle so much that we don't get into that position. And then come all the way down. Definitely my weaker side here. All right, we have 3 more. Let's do it. Push the bar up. Push the bar to your legs. Hold. Take the arm up if you'd like. And then lower all the way down. Holy cannoli. 2 more here. Finish strong, y'all. Lift up tall, tall, tall. Can you take that top arm up or the bottom arm up? Ooh, and then come all the way down. My inner thighs are screaming right now. Last one, best one. Roll up, roll up. Bottom arm comes up if you can. Hold, 2, 3, and then pull back through the ribs and the stomach as you come all the way down.